Without further ado, I will introduce our first reading, Elle Brooks. This is going to get exciting. Thank you. Elle Brooks, a Toronto native and Community of Writers at Squaw Valley alum, has studied at UCI and UCLA Extension programs. Her story, For As Long As I Live, appeared in San Diego's City Beats Fiction 101 contest in 2011. Elle is the host of Wake Up and Write in San Diego, where she lives with her husband. Her current project is a memoir entitled In the Land of Liars, Cheats, and Thieves, a Love Story. Welcome, Elle.
It is such an honor to share my work, so thank you all for being here. In the land of liars, cheats, and thieves, a love story. I wedged myself between the toilet and the sink, stood tippy-toed on a three-legged stool, traced constellations in the black and white and gold specks of our yellow Formica countertop. It was the sand against the ocean that was our pale blue bathroom sink. Dad stood shirtless, examining his reflection in the mirror cabinet above my head. Ran fingers through his sandy brown hair, pushing the long, thin strands off his face before smoothing a hedge of wild eyebrows. He swirled an ox hair brush in a soap bowl, whipping it into a thick white lather. I loved mornings when he dabbed the shaving cream on my cheek. "You're growing a beard," he teased. I pretended to be upset. My dimples gave me away. I was ravenous for attention, since Mom's sadness melted the days together. So even though Dad poked too hard when he tickled, I would go back for more. I jumped on his lap, straddled his leg for another round of horsey, and held my breath against what I knew would come next. The slide into his crotch before I slipped down his denim shorts and into the ditch. From the floor, I looked up to see a glint in his muted brown eyes. His flat upper lip receded behind his scratchy mustache as he smiled a faraway smile, while I inched my way back up his hairy leg, a caterpillar scaling an oak. That first stroke of Dad's silver razor grating against last night's stubble sounded like Nick's metal roller skates scraping the asphalt after the snow melted. Dad shook the razor under the steamy water, releasing the reason I raced to the bathroom most mornings. "Here's Mishy's fishies," he said. Normally I replied, "Fishy, fishy, fishies," while my fingertips swirled the black stubble along the surface of the water. That morning, I remained silent, followed his nicotine-stained fingers as he ran the razor from his chest hairs up towards his jawline. Scrape, more fishies. Scrape, scratch, scratch. I was about to turn my head when a thin trail of blood seeped down his neck. My heart raced in my ears, but soon fell silent when the cut disappeared with just a dab of soapy water. Dad wiped his hands on a towel, pulled a thin box of Gillette razors from the top shelf of the medicine cabinet. He twisted the end of the silver shaver, opening up like a drawbridge, removed the dull blade and slid it into the bottom of the razor box. "You don't want to mess with these," he said. With a flick of his thumb, a shiny double-sided razor emerged from the top of the box. Morning sunlight, rising above Mr. Yip's cherry tree, glistened along both edges of the stainless steel blade. It was the most beautiful thing I had seen. Dad released his delicate hold on the blade, dropped it into the shaver, and twisted the drawbridge shut. Pulling his skin taut, the shimmering blade plowed through the white leather, leaving a pink trail across his throat, right on the part of his neck that bounced with the beat of my pounding heart. I held my breath. I didn't understand. If a dull razor cut him, then why didn't a brand new, straight out of the box, sharp, shiny razor slice his throat wide open? Dad left for work. Nick and Sharon and Stephen went to school. Mom was back in bed. I returned to the bathroom. The woody citrus of Old Spice clung to the air as I climbed the countertop, opened the cabinet, and with a flick of my thumbs, stole a double-edged razor. I raced across the hall to my bedroom, wrapped the sharp metal blade in a Kleenex, and placed it in a horseshoe-shaped leather box. It was no bigger than my palm. The gold lettering on top, the words I don't recall. I do remember when I started the first grade, I took my double-edged sword to Miss Horry's class, not for show and tell, but kept it by my side, hidden in a box, worthy of my secrets. Decades later, I will be unable to tell my therapist with any certainty whether I had planned to use the razor on my father or myself. The theft happened 10 years before my first suicide attempt, which would be veiled in painless pills dissolving from within. There was nothing sharp involved, except the same acute sadness that plagued my mother. It would be my father, not I, who would scrape a blade across his wrists. Frayed bandages replaced his gold Timex. The second parent to be committed. But that night, I was the girl whose freckles had yet to appear like golden specks in yellow formica. The girl who kept a razor-sharp blade within her tiny grasp. The girl who waited every night for the darkness to descend upon her. Thank you.